Sometimes when I'm shopping, I just kind of go into like a dissociative fugue state where I don't really like remember what it was I was doing. I kind of lose little chunks of time when I'm online. Hey guys, welcome to today's video. If this is your first time here, hi, I'm Ashley. If it's not your first time here, welcome back. I'm excited because I'm filming in the morning for like the first time ever. I never film in the morning. I always end up filming in the afternoon. But since I'm filming in the morning, I still have coffee left. So feeling really good about that. Today, I am doing a full face of first impressions. This is like kind of like one of my favorite video formats to film. I love trying new makeup. I don't know, there's something about it. It's just exciting. Will it be great? Will it be terrible? Will I know how to apply it? Possibly not. Before we get started, make sure you are subscribed. If you subscribe to my channel, all of your wildest dreams will come true. Okay, maybe not, but you will be able to enter my monthly giveaways. The details for those are down in the description box below. All right, let's try some new makeup. So I'm actually gonna start with a moisturizer because I finally picked up the Charlotte's Magic Cream. I got like the small one. It was still expensive for how much you get or how much you don't get, I guess. But okay, everybody talks about this. I wanna see if it's really magic. Okay, so I am trying a new moisturizer today. We're gonna see if it's magic. All right, first impression on this Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. I mean, it's a nice cream. It's a little fragrancy for my taste. It's like a little bit smells like the Belk counter. If you know what Belk's is, if you're from the South. If you're not from the South, Belk's is like, it's like Southern JCPenney. I normally don't try new primers when I'm trying new foundations. I like to be fair to the foundation by actually using a primer I know and love. But I've been wanting to try this for so long. So many people rave about it. And Heather Austin recently used it in a video and I was like, oh my gosh, I've been wanting to get that. I'm gonna do it. It is the Hollywood Flawless Filter from Charlotte Tilbury. Now, I've seen people use this in so many different ways. I know that you can use it as a highlighter afterward. But you know what? You can also use it as a primer. I think I'm gonna actually blend it in with a brush. This is a brush from BK Beauty and I absolutely have been loving it. It is so soft. It is the 101 brush. Oh my gosh, it feels so good on the skin. It blends beautifully. I really like it for foundation. So I'm gonna use it today for my primer and I'm gonna use it for foundation as well. I have just heard so many good things about this primer and I love me a good glow, so I went ahead and picked it up. I actually picked up a ton of stuff from Charlotte Tilbury. I now have a full face of Charlotte Tilbury products. That is a video you will be seeing next week, and I'm really excited to show you, but I wanna be able to use the weekend to try everything so that I can actually talk about each product rather than do like a first impressions. You guys, I'm having to like slow my breathing because I'm like, because I have coffee. All right, for foundation, we're gonna try the Yves Saint Laurent TOUCHE ÉCLAT all-in-one glow. I sound so French, right? Right. So the reason I got this, and yes, I'm shaking it up violently because yesterday I opened this and I squirted a little bit out just to see, and it was breaking up, and I think that's because of the sunscreen. So I wanna make sure I get it really, really like shaken up and, you know, I don't know, blended, mixed well. But the reason I wanted to try this is it just sounded like something that would have a really radiant finish and be kind of on the lighter side of medium coverage. I don't know what it is, but there's something about summer, this summer in particular, I don't know, I guess it's all the staying at home, that has made me kind of want to try some lighter coverage options. Like I have a new tinted moisturizer that I've been loving, but it's from La Mer, so it's like almost $100 for a tinted moisturizer. I know, it's insane. But I've just been wanting to try some more lighter coverage options, so that is why I picked up this TOUCHE ÉCLAT all-in-one glow, because from the reviews, it sounded like something that was gonna give, you know, it was gonna even me out and have enough coverage for me, but not be, you know, too overwhelming. I'm going in really light with this. I'm going in really light-handed because the thing is, I've noticed lately, I guess since I've been filming and have like a big light on me and the sunlight, sometimes I just go in a little bit heavier with foundation than makes sense. I think some of this too is that I have gotten my skincare routine to a place that I'm really, really happy with. Like, I'm really happy with how my skin looks. And I always kind of have been, but when I was pregnant, my skin was just a textured mess. It wasn't like acne or anything. It was just the texture. My skin turnover was like completely stalled. And so I would have so much texture to my skin that I just didn't want to wear makeup while I was pregnant. So I think I kind of, you know, I was just a little bit thrown off my game because, you know, I've always loved my skin, and then pregnancy made me really not like my skin. So first impression so far, I feel like I have a great shade match. This is B30. Almond is the shade that I got. I think this is the right shade for me. You'll notice when it's going on, it's darker than my skin, but I kind of match my self tan. And I'm gonna be honest, if something is even just a hair too light for me, no, it's a no-go. Like, I would rather it be a hair too dark than a hair too light, because I just don't like the way stuff lays on my skin when it is too dark or when the undertone is off. Like, this is very balanced undertones, which I appreciate because my skin is very neutral. I don't pull cool, I don't pull warm. I really need something neutral. If it has any kind of pink undertone to it, I'm gonna look really off. It literally makes me look salmon, like the color salmon. Like, that's what any kind of rose tinted foundation looks like on me. And if it's too yellow, I just look really sallow and sickly. Like, it's not good. So I really appreciate that this is a nice, balanced, neutral color. And I really love this amount of coverage. I went in really light, and I really love this. I feel like I can still see some freckling. Like, in person, I can still see a little bit of my freckles. And I love that this is a glowy finish. I can definitely go down and matte this down a little bit, which I will when I get to like my under eye and lighting up this area. But I always kind of like to start a little bit dewier and then matte down the places that I want to, rather than start more matte. I think it's just because I have dry skin. That's kind of the sequence I like to go in. All right, we are gonna try the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Concealer. I got the shade number 3. I've heard a lot of great things about this concealer, and since the Luminous Silk is my very, very favorite foundation, I thought, let's try it out. You're gonna notice I'm really trying my best here to use a little bit less concealer. It's so hard for me. I love, 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 love concealer. Oh my gosh, I was watching a Heather Austin video last night, and she always gives you the disclaimer. She's like, listen, I love concealer. I'm like, you know what? I understand. This for me is going in light with concealer, and already I'm like, well, is it bright enough? I know that it's not for everyone, but for me, I really, really love a bright under eye. I don't want it to look like white. Like, I mean, when I was like 24, 25, I would say 5-6 years ago, I sometimes would have like a way too light under eye. I don't do that anymore, but I still like it to be brighter under there. So going off first impression, I do like this concealer. I like the finish. I feel like the shade is right, but it's kind of breaking up a tiny bit right in here. That could be just because it doesn't play well with this foundation or the primer even, because it is laying pretty nicely up here. Like, it's not breaking up on the lid. So I'll have to keep trying it with some other things to figure out. That's why it's just a first impression. I like it, but I need more info. All right, for my nose contour, I'm gonna go in with the Kiko Milano Sculpting Touch Creamy Stick Contour. I'm trying desperately to find a drugstore cream bronzer. They're very difficult to find. There's not a lot of options. This was like one of the few I could find. I actually got it on Amazon. I'm kind of curious as to why the drugstore is so far behind on the times with this, because, you know, I feel like cream bronzers are very popular now. So it's just weird to me that they're taking their sweet butt time. I'm gonna go back in with this concealer to brighten up the middle of my face. Oh my gosh, you guys, I had such a good birthday. Thank you to everyone who sent me birthday wishes, belated birthday wishes. I appreciate it. I'm gonna try a sponge for this just so I can see a different way of blending it out, because, you know, every concealer has kind of different ways that it's better, like, of application. So I'm gonna see how I like a sponge. I think I might like a sponge better than I like a brush. That could be part of why it's breaking up. It just might not be a concealer that works as well with a brush on my skin. So for my birthday, my husband, actually, it's the craziest thing. I kept wondering, my husband kept asking me like, okay, when do you want to eat? When do you want to do this? And I was like, you know, it's just us. We'll just do it, you know, whenever we're done getting ready, which is the craziest thing because I'm such a planner. I've always been such a planner, but I've kind of had to let go of some of that because I have a daughter now. So for my under eye, I'm gonna set using this Range Beauty Smooth Out Translucent Setting Powder. I will tell you right now, this is like kind of a little bit of a messy situation going on. I kind of let a little bit too much out when I was setting up my area to film, and now I have way too much product out of the sifter. It has, you know, like that little sifter kind of thing going on. I let way too much out, and so now it's a little bit messy, but I am excited to try this. I was so excited when I saw this brand. It is a Black-owned clean beauty brand. And what I love is they have different shades of translucent. Like I love a translucent powder. This is their light translucent. They also have a medium and a dark. So I really appreciate that because obviously translucent is probably not one size fits all. One size fits all. So I kept wondering why my husband was asking me, you know, like for like time plans, because my husband is not a planner. I was a huge planner before I had my daughter. Before I had my daughter, every single night I would sit down and plan the next day, and I would plan my day in 15-minute increments. I'm not kidding. When I told you guys I am a recovering perfectionist, I was not joking. I am a recovering perfectionist. It is a real problem that I have struggled with for many years. My husband, on the other hand, is not like a time planner. He's like a, you know, go with the flow. As it comes up, you know, we'll do it then. So I was very curious, like, why is he asking me these things? But I didn't think much of it. And so we had made mojitos. We were having like a little happy hour, and he got on his laptop, and I thought that he was like gonna call my sister-in-law just to, you know, chat with her, for her to tell me happy birthday and stuff. And that's what he told me he was doing, and I wasn't thinking anything of it. I was on the other side. He was at like our kitchen island. I was on the other side, so I couldn't see his screen. And he, you know, like I heard like the dings, like that he was connected, because he was using like GoToMeeting. That should have been like a, maybe like a hint for me, but it wasn't. So he, you know, I hear his sister, my sister-in-law. And then I was sitting there sipping, and I was getting ready to walk around to say hi, and I heard a laugh, and I instantly knew it was my Nana. And I was like, I don't know what happened in that moment, but I think just being away from family for so long, because everything going on, I got like, it was one of those things where you just get so overwhelmed emotionally and you weren't expecting it. And I could hear my Nana, and I was like, oh my God, he has my Nana on there. Like, this is like a full out, like I knew in that moment, like, oh, this is like a surprise virtual birthday party. And that's what it was. And I was just like, I must have sounded like an idiot because I was so overwhelmed. I started crying. I could not even say anything. I told everyone, I was like, I'm just so emotionally overwhelmed right now because I don't know. It was just really sweet that he did that, and that so many people, you know, cared to wish me happy birthday and take the time out of their day to figure out how to use GoToMeeting. I mean, seriously, my grandmothers were on there, my aunts, like, it's like the fact that they took their time to try to figure out how to work that app, just, I don't know, it meant the world to me. I just, so choked up. All right, what are we doing next? So for brows, I'm trying a couple Charlotte Tilbury products. This one I actually have owned before, so it's not technically a first impression. The Legendary Brow, I have owned this before, but I have never tried her actual pencil. This is the Brow Lift 3-way shape tool. So I'm gonna be trying this today. A little bit of it broke off, I will say, when I was setting up earlier. So that's not a great first impression, but you know, maybe it's gonna work better than, I mean, see, it's already got some, like, from where it broke off, it's like it broke off in the lid, I think, during shipping or something. So this is like one of those brow pencils that's shaped kind of like a triangle. So I'm going to use the, like, pointy end of the triangle because I like very like thin brow pencils, so I'm not gonna be someone that uses this, you know, straight on. I'm gonna kind of tilt it and try to use that pointy end because I think that's the only way I'm really gonna like it. So it was a really good birthday, and my husband's so sweet because he had asked me like what I wanted to do, and I had told him, you know, I want to get everybody get ready, and then we're gonna do like a happy hour. I'll make vodka mojitos, and I want to listen to my favorite music. And it was so funny because as soon as we were all done getting ready and we went into the kitchen to make vodka mojitos, my husband put on the Spotify classic rock playlist. Like, it's like he knew. He was like, okay, this is when she says favorite music, this is what she wants. We're gonna listen to classic rock. That's just, I mean, that's my stuff. It really is. It's funny because I used to, every year, I would make like a birthday playlist and it would have a song from each year that I had been alive. Like, what song, you know, just like one song from every year. So like a song from 1990, a song from 1991, a song from 1992. That's how I did it for years. And I need to make one for this year. I didn't think about it, but 30 would be a good year to have that playlist just so that I can keep adding to it. And then, you know, maybe for my 40th birthday, we'll be able to see each other in person by then. And I can have an in-person party, and that'll be what we listen to is my 40-year playlist. One song from every year I've been alive. I'm trying to remember what song. I can't even remember what song was #1 when I was born. I think, oh my gosh, something bad is going on in my brows, you guys. There's like some dead skin. That's disgusting. And I don't know why I felt the need to share with you, but we're friends. We can be honest, right? Oh my God, it's so gross. I think that the #1 song when I was born, on the day I was born, the #1 song on the charts was Gonna Make You Sweat. You know what? Everybody dance now. Burp, 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 burp. I love that song, and it always reminds me of the Cafe Disco episode of The Office, which, can I just point out that Raw Beauty Kristi literally has a shade in her new palette called Cafe Disco. So cute. I cannot wait to try that palette. Mine is supposed to be here Saturday. I don't know why mine took longer, but I'm just excited that I got it because honestly, I did not think I was going to get it. So I'm really looking forward to that. I would love if you guys would let me know in the comments, what do you want to see me do with that palette? Do you want to like a review or a tutorial or what? What is this? What? Wait, what? What is this? Oh my God, I didn't even know. Oh, is this like a little highlight? Wait, what? 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 Oh, there's like a little brow highlight in here. I didn't even know about that. Ooh, look at me with my brow highlight. I haven't used a brow highlight in a long time. Who even knew? Oh, I can't get it back in. It jumped out at me. Y'all, I'm the clumsiest human being on the planet. I will let you know that. I mentioned in a video one time, I have this weird habit where I throw things. I don't mean to. It's like when I drop something, I don't just like drop it. I like throw it somehow. I can't count how many times I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to throw something at you. Like, it's just, I'm just a clumsy individual. This is the Legendary Brow. This is the one that I've had before, but I got a different color. And I don't know if I purposely got a different color or if I accidentally ordered the wrong one or they sent me the wrong one, or did I do this on purpose? I don't remember. Sometimes when I'm shopping, I just kind of go into like a dissociative fugue state where I don't really like remember what it was I was doing. I kind of lose little chunks of time when I'm online shopping. It happens. So this is like a little bit dark, but I'm gonna try it. I don't know. I go back and forth because here's the thing. I love the way that like a darker brow looks on people, but it's like I'm scared to do it on myself. For me, I would rather my brows be a little bit too dark than a little bit too light. And I think that that looks better on most people, but I don't know. It's just personal preference. Again, that's all that makeup is like personal preference. It's, you know, it's your face. Who cares if you like your brows darker? No one. But that being said, this is kind of like, this is strong. This is a little strong, but we're gonna work with it because again, I just don't know. I really do like this brow gel though. I have to be honest. Like, I feel like it does do like kind of the laminated pushed up brows. I feel like it holds them very well in that way. And one thing that I would say about this brow gel is, since I have it in a darker color, is on kind of like no makeup days, I could actually use this and not need to worry about filling in my brows since it is darker, because I do have, I mean, full enough brows. They're not like crazy full. I mean, they look really funny right now because they're so dark, but I think I just need to get used to it and put on some, what is it? Eyeshadow, and then it's not gonna look so crazy, I hope. Okay, moving on to eyes. So for eyes, I have these two dual eye highlight golden hour power. Do you guys remember Power Hours? Oh my God, college. That's a flashback I didn't need in my head right now. Onto these. So these are from Range Beauty, the clean brand I was telling you about. And I'm so excited to try them because they look absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to use them on my lid and on my inner corner, but I am going to use some different colors in the crease. I'm going to use this Viseart APEROL Spritz palette, which is not a first impression, but I just did want to kind of show it to you guys because I've only used it in one video, and it was one of my favorite products of the first half of 2020. If you haven't seen that video, I will link it up there and down below. So since it was one of my favorites, and well, it still is one of my favorites so far this year, I just want to kind of show you guys a few of the colors in here just so you can kind of see how I use it and why I like it so much. Number one, I love it because the daggum Viseart, their formula, their eyeshadow formula is so good. It's so good. I just, oh my gosh, so many positive things to say about Viseart. They're just fantastic. So I'm gonna use this shade right here, and I'm just gonna go on my crease. I'm taking this color now. I don't even know the brush that I'm using. The brush that I'm using, I will not even mention it because I don't support this brand, but it's like I have these brushes, I never use them. They came in this pouch, and I just never use them. So they're like brand new, and now I'm trying to get use out of them because I'm like, I'm not gonna throw them away. And I mean, I could donate them, but I don't know, I just want to kind of use them up and just get some use out of them. But this is just a basic, like, it's like a fluffy brush, you know the kind. I think I'll go in a little bit with this one that's kind of dark because why not? But I do want a bit of a smaller, more defined brush because I don't want that like all over. Just kind of gonna go in here. I'm so excited to try these little pigments from Range Beauty. They looked so beautiful, and I'm so excited for Range Beauty. My order took forever to ship. I mean, they were very honest about it though. They sent an email like explaining the delays and that they just have had such an overwhelming response because they were featured on Beyonce's Black Parade. So that's kind of, they got a lot of attention from that. And that just makes me so happy because, you know, when people start businesses, you know, most people don't have a lot of capital to start business. They like really work hard and put their money into it. And I just respect that so much. I think because my parents are entrepreneurs, they own a contracting company, and my husband is also an entrepreneur and a business owner. So it's like, I just really appreciate that. And I'm all about supporting small businesses because small businesses are literally what fed me my entire life. So I really, you know, when you can support small businesses, you guys, definitely do it, especially like in your local community. All right, so this is the pigment in Froze. So it's like F-R-O-S-E. So I'm gonna just pick this up with a like short shader brush, and I'm gonna put it on the lid. Oh my gosh. Wow. Do you guys see that? Ah, so radiant. Love that. And where is the brush I was just using? Oh, here it is. I'm just gonna kind of take it to blend the little edge there, and then boom, that's what I want. Wow, my eye looks like a sunset or a sunrise, sunset. You guys, I used to have this idea that like, what if there was this game show and they would show you a picture. This is the stupidest thing ever, but let me tell you anyway. Like, what if they showed you a picture and you had to decide, like they show you a picture of the sky or like, you know, just like the area you live in, and you have to decide from looking at the picture, is it sunrise or is it sunset? Like, is it dawn or is it dusk? No, no, not a good idea. Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna give up my career as a game show producer because I clearly don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know why that was like an idea of mine. I remember that one of my horse trainers growing up had this idea that like you would have a game show where you blindfold people, you put them in a van, you put them in a plane, you put them on a train, and then you put them in a Cracker Barrel and take the blindfold off, and they have to guess from the Cracker Barrel where they are in the country because every Cracker Barrel basically looks the exact same. All right, so that is down. I love it. For the inner corner, I'm gonna use this one in Prime Time. Ooh, oh my God, I went in too hard. I went in too hard. It's okay. It was an accident. Just gonna kind of blend it in there. Take my finger and kind of fix that. Wow, that is literally so beautiful. Ooh, I'm a big fan of these. These are gorgeous. And I really love the powder. I'm gonna be honest, that is the powder from Range Beauty. That is the first powder I have used in a first impressions that I have liked how it sits on the under eye. Usually in my first impressions videos or now when I'm trying new makeup, I just stick with my normal powder for the under eyes because so many have just done me dirty and not been good. But this one from Range Beauty, it has not creased up on me yet. It's set everything really beautifully. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I'm excited to try more things from them. I have to hustle, you guys, because I can hear my daughter making noises that indicate to me that she is going to want me to put her down for a nap very soon. My daughter will not nap for anyone else. Lucky me. For my eyeliner, I'm going to go in with this Marc Jacobs eyeliner. I love his highliner formula. It is so smooth and it sticks on the waterline beautifully. Oh, I just appreciate that so much. So this is the color Top Brass. This is new to me. I think it's new in general. And it's a nice brass color. I don't have anything exactly like this, so I was really excited to pick it up. I know I love his formula, so really what I do is just every now and again, I'll pick up a new color of this because I already know that I love it so much. And see, this is a metallic and it's sticking perfectly in the waterline. That does not happen often. It's smooth and the metallic is still metallic once it's in the waterline. That is very rare. I've tried a lot of metallic eyeliners that just don't do that. The Urban Decay and this one I say would be your best bets if you're looking for like a nice metallic eyeliner that's gonna actually stick and stay in the waterline. I'm just gonna smudge some of that one right under here. And then we're gonna be done with the eyes and we're gonna move on to cheeks because I've got this Patrick Ta blush that I am so excited to try. Yep, that was a scream. She is definitely ready for a nap. All right, y'all, for blush, we are gonna try the Patrick Ta Double Take Cream and Powder Blush. And I got the shade Do We Know Her, which like, hello. I love me a good coral. So I'm just gonna lay this down with a sponge on the apple of my cheek. And then, oh, I like that color. I'm gonna blend it out with I like that color, but when I went to blend it with the brush, it did pull up some product, so I don't think I'm gonna try to do that again. I'm just gonna lay it down and blend it out with a sponge. I don't know, I really like to blend cream blushes out with a brush when possible, but it just didn't work out, so. You know what I forgot? I forgot to do bronzer, and I generally do bronzer before I do blush, but oh well. I really like that color. So it's not pulling up over here, so obviously it doesn't play well with this brush, so now I know, and I will not try that again. I really do like the formula though. It looks nice, the finish is nice, and with a sponge, it's performing very well. So today we're gonna be trying the Tower 28 Bronzino, and I'm trying the shade West Coast. I actually picked this up because of Heather Austin. She had used it on her channel, and I was like, well, I want to try it now. So I'm gonna try to do this with like a foundation brush. Let's see. I really like to use this foundation brush, the 102 Silk Finish from Zoeva, with bronzers. Let's see how it works. I'm kind of using this as like a clack, clack, clack. I'm using this as like a contour slash bronzer because I have been doing that a lot more often lately, kind of just using my bronzer almost exactly where I would use a contour, and I've been liking it for summer. I don't think it's something I'm gonna do in winter, but for summer I've really enjoyed it. Wow, okay, I really like how this looks on the forehead because there's just enough red to it that it looks like a natural sun, like I got natural sun on my face. And I really like that. Oh my gosh. I really wish I would have remembered to put it on before blush, but I actually really like how it's looking, even on the cheeks, on the cheekbones. Like I've got a nice little definition and some color. Whoa. I'm gonna be honest, I really like this bronzer. I should have known that I would because I trust Heather so much. But this is just such a nice, like, natural color, especially on the forehead. I really like how it looks on the forehead. Oops, just kind of dropped something. All right, this is the Metamorphic highlighter in the shade The Siren from Ritual de Fille. I have been wanting to try their products for a while. Oh my gosh, it smells like France. I don't know why. I am really into French stuff lately. I'm all about it. It's probably because I'm so worldly. This is really pretty. And again, this smells so good. So I'm gonna take this little Real Technique shaping brush just to blend this a little bit better. It's not pulling up product. It's got a nice, beautiful kind of like holographic shimmer. It's definitely like a highlighter. This is not something I would use every day, but I'm really loving the way that it is playing off of the Golden Hour pigments from Range. I'm kind of loving that look. I feel like they're playing really well together. Bright and shiny. Did you ever see the movie Bubble Boy with Jake Gyllenhaal? Can you believe he made that movie? Like in hindsight. So for lips, I have two products from Pat McGrath that have been on my wish list on Sephora for a while. So this is the Luxe Trance lipstick from Pat McGrath in the shade Sextrology. I have had this on my list to try for a while, so I'm really excited to be trying it today. I really like this shade. This is a really nice peachy pink. I'm a fan. I'm also gonna put on a gloss from Pat McGrath. You guys, you know, I did not use gloss for like years, and now all of a sudden I'm all about lip gloss. I don't know kind of what happened there, but I'm not mad at it. This is the Pat McGrath Labs Dare to Bare Lust Gloss. I think Dare to Bare is the shade. I don't know. I put the info down here as always. Let's put this, oh my gosh. Again, something that smells delicious. I love this because it's just like a nice like pinky milky shade. I love lip glosses that just kind of like soften up the lip a little bit, kind of give like a little bit of a milky filter to it. A milky filter. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. This is not sticky at all. Like at all. There's no stick at all to this lip gloss. Wow. Wow. I am a fan of that formula. Oh my goodness. I'm going to spray my face and we're going to be done. All right, guys, that is it. We are done with this full face of first impressions. I'm going to be honest. There's nothing that I like disliked. I do want to keep trying the concealer, the Giorgio Armani Luminous Concealer, because it did break up a little bit on me, but I think it might have been because I used a brush. It may be a concealer that needs a sponge. I'm going to keep trying all of these, obviously, but my first impression are just, I mean, these are really nice products. I feel kind of weird when I do a first impression and I end up not having really negative things to say about anything, but I'm gonna be honest. I think part of it is because when I do like a full face of first impressions, I'm generally picking items that like I've really wanted to try, that I've really researched, that I feel confident are gonna be good things. So I think sometimes that's why that happens. Let me know in the comments below which of these products are you most interested in hearing more about in future videos. I definitely want to do some speed reviews very, very soon, so let me know which of these products do you want to hear more about. I want to thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with me today. I hope to see you at my next video. Until then, you can always chat with me in the comments below or over on Instagram. Until then, please take care of yourself. Bye.